Hi and welcome to part 2 of the Repsol Honda RC213V with the Top Studio Super Detail upstairs. So we'll start this part by sticking some of the small photo etch parts onto the main engine block. There isn't an awful lot to go on. First of all, there's like a little bracket that goes on here. Just put a bit of primer on it just so you can see where I'm aiming at. Otherwise it would just be white, it gets difficult to see. And that gets, if you can do it without the shiny light on it, one of these brackets here. Just try something. So that's a bit better. Yeah, one of these brackets. It's not really a bracket anyway. One of these. On there. This is like the clutch housing, top and bottom, I think they are. These are brackets for the springs on the exhaust, and a few other bits and bobs on there. And other things that go on is, this goes on the oil level window. And there's a couple of other bits and pieces. On here we've got lots of little screws and nut heads, different sizes. So they'll go as well. So on the main engine block we have one to go on there, to go on there. There's a round disc and a part to go on the top of there, and on the sump, I'm going to remember it, on here, I can find the camera, there's a bracket that goes on here that attaches to the exhaust which runs underneath. I'll show you that in a sec. So basically we put in this on, this, these two, and number 7 here, which is, I'm doing this one, so without strobing, yeah, doing this one. So what we need is a little blob of CA glue, something fine to put it on with, and off we go. Start off with drop things. We'll put the disc on here. So that is C9. And C9 is this one that's up here. So on this sprue of photo etch there's no little joints that attach the main part of the fret. On the other ones they are, so you have to ping those off. Come on, it's not that sticky. Yeah, one disc. Which we immediately drop. See, that'll kind of like that, so just get a bit of glue. we go, and the end of that goes, say 15, which is one of these. I think these will be the ones that go on the rest of it, but I'll put those on once it's painted. Yeah, just see something in there. And there we go. First bit's PE. Bit of a tiny around the edge. Oh, come on, just oak. There we go. We've started. Next we want the part that goes over there. The hole in there is, it does say in the instructions, drill a 0.8mm hole through. So there's a part that sticks into this that connects it to the radiator, and same with this part here. So what I'll do in a sec, I'll get 2 of these cut off, and we'll come back when I'm sticking those on. Back in a sec. Okay, so we've got these little parts here cut up and tidied up. A tiny little spike, which was tricky to file off. Speaking of files, where have I put it? Tamiya's diamond file, very good for cleaning up photo etch parts. So we'll give this a go. So you can see that on there. I think it needs to go up slightly. There you go. You see it's matches up with the hole. And it's, see that? Yeah, it's down flat. Okay, so that's the other one put on. As because I did try and film it, but it kept falling all over the place. But basically the same as the other one, you just plug with CA, make sure it lines up with the hole, and we're away. So what we'll do next is the part that goes on here. It's going just like that. Because when you've got CA glue, it'll do everything but that. Anyway, that's how that will look. Come on. There we go. So that should be something you'd actually be able to see on the bike. So one last piece to put on. Okay, so what I'll do is just put these couple of bits on just to get an idea of where this final piece is supposed to go. In fact, before we do that, I'll show you what it is. Okay, so it's part number 7. This bracket, which goes on, so put it the other way, goes on the edge of the sump and attaches to the exhaust pipe, which does have, where's the exposure gone? Come down, down, down. Which does have this little button on it. Which this bracket fits over, like so. So to work out exactly its position, we need to do a temporary assembly. Come on, there we go. We're all over the place. Anyway, I'll put a picture up and give you a bit more of an idea. all this white. So I'm going to try that again. See that? No, really doesn't like that. There we go. Try that. So see, it fits over the button, and then fits on that little sticky out part. Something like that. Okay, so that gives an idea where it's supposed to go. Okay. Okay, as you can see, we've moved on a bit, so I've got it all painted up. So I've used on the main body, it's X11 Tamiya, F56. I think that's gunmetal, no, metallic grey for this in the head, and this part here. This part is aluminium. So painted the edge around there as well. Carburetor there, aluminium, and so gunmetal on the bottom there as well. And this is titanium silver and rubber black. That's XF85. I put some photos at the end of this clip which basically shows a bit more detail, but you can see I put the tops of the nuts on as well. I did notice there's actually one missing off the top here, must have flicked off, so I'll show you putting that on. I did film putting some of these on, but they're so small it's very difficult to show, so I'll give it one more go with this. Missing one at the top here, just to see how it looks. But that's where we're up to with the engine. Some little nuts on there, giving extra detail. See, there's two little brackets I've shown you fitting as well. And this one here, and the oil level window there. So in there that's got X19 smoke. This is X7 red. I'll give you that another coat in a sec because this is a bit patchy. Got little black details at the top here as well. So we've got, and this is the wire that runs from the carburetors to the handlebars. So I've done it in a wire, and we can use the tube that comes with the kit. But I do a wire, it's a little bit thinner than the tubing, a bit more to scale. And I fitted, which was incredibly tricky, cable tie, a tie for the tube. This goes to the radiator on there. So that's where we're up to. So as I say, I'll just get ready and show you putting this on, see how it is. If it doesn't work out, I'll not, and then we'll move on to doing the clutch plate, which will fit on here. Okay, so the next bit is doing that, or the clutch plate. See you in the next bit. Okay, so we'll give this a go. So what we're doing is applying, so on these nuts. Details to this bit here. So a little bit of CA glue. And I'll pop it on there. Okay, and then we'll get the without pinging it everywhere. That's the first time I've done that. I've done 20 before without pinging it. As soon as you film, pings. Anyway, we shall persevere. Without sticking things to yourself. Okay, so some little detail there. So see if we can get it on in one go. Here we go. Like that. So you just repeat 20 more times and you get the details on there. So we'll just put that down to dry. Okay, so we'll move on to the next bit. Okay, next up we have the clutch, which is made up of several parts. So you start off with this fan effect, which you fold all the spikes up and then you drop it in alternately. Clear around one and one with a groove. And the grooves will tie in with the this fan effect. And then at the top we have a combination of this one, which is part B20. This one which is slightly different from the other ones. And then the top one, which then has all these little holes around the outside, which then correspond with the tops of all of these. So you have to get every one of those strands into a little hole, and then a little bit of judicial CA gluing that should hold it together. And then we put on top of the clutch plate. So this I've done in titanium gold, and this is in chrome. So the two fit together like that. So that will go on top of this arrangement. So what I'll do first is, they're all connected by tiny little joints, so I'll have to ping those, cut those off, tidy them up, and then we'll come back when we'll start assembly and we'll see how that looks. Okay. So I'll just pause it there while I do some preparation and I'll be back. Okay, so we'll move on to doing the clutch. So we've got various parts to go on. So we start off with this part, which we fold all the parts up vertically and then drop in alternately one with the grooves to a clear one. So alternately between these two. And then there's a combination of these three go on the top, and then we finish it off. So what I'll do, I'll make a start on folding these up, and we'll come back when I've done that, and so we'll drop those in. Back in a sec. Okay, so once you get this part fitted over all the little spikes, which is pretty tricky, it says file off the top of anything that's stick it up. Just file it down with the flat side of your file. Okay, and this comes up nice and smooth. What I've done as well is just run a bead of CA glue just around the top, just to make sure once you'd started filing these, it didn't ping off, which would be really quite frustrating. So hopefully it won't. So what do we have next? So here we've got the two resin parts, so titanium gold and chrome. So basically just slotted one into the other and glued it. So we have B20, B1, and then the top part on there. So there's a little groove in there which, if you can pick it up, this lines up with. Yeah, so it'll go like that. And then this just matches up with the grooves. So something like that, so I'll get it on, and then that's up. Something like that. So anyway, we'll get some gluing done. Get some gluing done. Top of glue there. Okay, so we'll put this part on. So to get the notch and everything to line up. So put the hair up from somewhere. There you go. Squeeze that down, drop it. So we'll give that a couple of minutes to dry properly. Then we'll put the other parts on, which is at the bottom of here. So I'll put those two bits on again in a sec. So just pause it for a sec. Okay, so that's the bronze bit fitting in as well. I didn't film it because it got a bit fiddly. I had to pull it off a couple of times because you've got to get the teeth matching up around on there so it sort of sits like so. And lastly, we fit the resin parts on top so that the raised bit from the chrome part should fit in that little hole so you can get it to sit centrally. So it's just a bit of CA glue just to clean off. It's okay. Do this without sticking everything to myself. There we go, I think that's down all the way around. And there we go, there we have clutch all the individual plates in there, the resin top. So I'll let that dry for a sec, so that will then fit in there like that. So we'll sort that out in a couple of minutes. Okay, so as well, we're letting that just set itself properly. Shouldn't take too long. I'll just pause. Okay, so we'll just fit the clutch to the engine. Where's my thingy? There it is. Okay, there we go, so that's the clutch on as well. So that for now is the engine done. So we just built it up as per the instructions. So say it's metallic grey XF56, chrome X11, XF16 flat aluminium, XF85 for the tubes. These are aluminium, so that's chrome, aluminium. So not an awful lot of colours on there. So this is X7 red, titanium gold and chrome. What else have we got? So I think we've got to do, still got to do the chrome little trumpets for the top of the carburetors, and the spark plug caps go on there. So for those in a bit, and we've applied the little screw heads. So I showed you how to put that one on because it fell off. But basically it's all the same, little dab of CA glue. Apply without losing it across the desk. So they're all picked out underneath the front. And there's this PE black bracket here, and the cover for the oil level. In that little window there, there's X19, that's smoke. So they're all Tamiya colours, so that's come out very well. So we'll call this part done. The next part we'll move on with instructions. With instructions, start doing parts for the rear brakes and swing arm, but I think I'll follow the instructions for the bike itself and move on to doing the frame. Right. So say I've just got these parts to do and these parts to apply, and then we'll do the frame because there's a few bits and bobs we need to do for the frame alterations, but I'll show you that in the next part. Okay, so Thanks very much for watching. If you like what you're seeing, if you press the subscribe button and press the like button as well, please. And I'll see you in part 3 when we can move on. So that's Never Wonder making the Honda Repsol what's it called again? RC213V with the Top Studio detail upset. It's the compressor going off for some reason because I'm using the spray paint for a bit. Using the Top Studio Detail Master set to make it look so much better. Okay, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in part 3.